of Champions, Crown Jewel, King of the Ring, I need them to pick a name for this pay-per-view. And it's your boy Icon going over the wrestling. We got another wrestling review for you. And I honestly wish they would have just called the pay-per-view Crown Jewel because y'all called it night. First of all, it's the King of the Ring tournament. You didn't call it King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring. And then y'all called it Night of Champions, and we only had 2 championships that were defended, so I'm confused. Like I said, but we're going to go over the pay-per-view. We're going to talk about it, all the goods, the bads, and everything else in between. And before we get started, hit that notification bell, like and or subscribe. Check out my other reviews, and let's get started with a little wrestling action. No pre-show. We don't do that anymore. And we're kicking things off with the King of the Ring tournament finals for the men. So the first match, the opening match, was definitely the men's King of the Ring. It was Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. And I honestly, at this point, I'm over everyone singing Randy Orton's theme music. Like, it's starting to get on my nerves. The bad thing about it is they're not doing it because they legitimately want to and it's cool. They're just doing it because everyone else is doing it. And if you're going to do it because everyone else is doing it, for the love of God, at least know the words. They don't know the words of the song. They were off key. Even when they do the whole "they talk to me," they were like off on that. They're either doing it too early or doing it too late. I'm like, you're not even really investing in it. You're just trying to be part of the group. So I mean, can we please retire? Like they done sung Cody's song word for word, but they were Orton. They only know like 3 bars. So I'm like, why are we even trying to sing it? But anyway, so Orton gets to the ring. Cody gets to the ring. I was surprised they started with this match, but I guess we gotta start off with something hot. Something hot, something good. They told a story in this match that Randy Orton, because he had the back surgery and everything, because he was coming back from injury, they told the story of the bad back. And, he did a superplex off the top rope, and because that, Orton hurt his back, and he sold the back. Cody, he actually went after his back during the match. He actually attacked the back, and the crowd there were moments where certain members of the crowd, I guess, kind of booed Cody a little bit because he was attacking Orton's back, because Orton was clearly, like, the sentimental favorite. But then Orton, he used the cheat tactics because in his desperate attempt to win number 15, because his back was hurting and because he was injured, he resorted to cheating towards the end of the match. He pulled the deal where he brought the steel chair in, and then when the referee tried to get rid of the chair, he took the turnbuckle pad off, and he tried to use the turnbuckle pad, to stop Cody and then to get the victory. But then Cody flipped it on him. He threw Orton into the turnbuckle where Orton kind of like hit his ribs, and then Cody hit him with the crossroads, hit the 1, 2, 3, and Cody is your 2025 King of the Ring. Both of these guys kicked out of each other's finishers multiple times. Like, I've never seen somebody kick out of that many RKOs, because that's one of the most protected moves in all of wrestling. But, and they said Cody, and then Orton kicked out a couple of crossroads, but because of the pain with the steel, he couldn't kick out of that, so Cody got it. So then, Cody basically, he gave his speech. He thanked Randy Orton. Orton looked pissed. So there was a moment where he teased the punt, and then he changed his mind. And that's weird because you were willing to take the turnbuckle pad off and bust his head wide open on steel, but doing the punt kick, like, that was where, that's where the line was. It was just like, oh, we don't want to do that. But I was like, but you can see him throw this man like into some steel and bust his skull. But anyway, they said he walked away, and then Cody basically said, CM Punk, because he said, I've beaten all your fan favorites so far. He said Cena or CM Punk, like, you're next, and we coming for you. So kudos to Cody Rhodes for becoming the King of the Ring, and we'll see what happens as he faces the champion at SummerSlam. So the next match was the street fight between Raquel, Gonzalez, Rodriguez, De La Vega, Santiago Cruz versus Rhea Ripley. Raquel came out to, a basic heel reaction. Rhea came out and the fans went crazy and they started cheering and everybody was going wild. Keep that in mind. More on that later. They get into the ring. They have their Saudi Arabian street fight. During the street fight, I like both of their outfits. They were, their outfits looked like they got their outfits made kind of by the same people. Even Roxanne Perez, who showed up. So during the match, like, Roxanne Perez did show up. And I kind of felt that Rhea should have lost this match, because if we're trying to build Raquel as a solo star and trying to push Raquel to the front because Liv Morgan's gone, then she actually needs to get a credible win so she doesn't look like an idiot. But they did play the power game to the point where Raquel actually beat her ass throughout the course of the entire match. Like, Raquel came out very strong. She was very dominant, and Rhea had to fight from behind. And they even mentioned the fact that Rhea's not used to fighting from behind. She's usually the one that's doing all the dominating. So now during the match, like, you know, when Rhea started getting the upper hand, Roxanne Perez showed up. You know, then when Roxanne showed up, she fought Rhea for a little bit. Roxanne, it looks like she had on the same outfit that Rhea did. And then, you know, Rhea ended up getting rid of Roxanne. And then there was a point where they had put a table on one of the corner top turnbuckles. And then while they had the table up there, I thought she was going to do the riptide and put her through the table. She just did the riptide, jumped off the table, did a super riptide off the top rope. And then, you know, she got the 1-2-3 victory and she beat Raquel. So I don't know where the story goes from here, because it's like she beat Raquel, so the beef should be over now. There shouldn't be any Judgment Day versus Rhea Ripley beef anymore. And Raquel should recognize that Roxanne came to her aid and tried to help her, although she blew it. Because that's the thing, like, if Roxanne's going to come out, then Raquel should win if Roxanne's going to come out. But it's like, if Raquel's still going to lose, regardless if Roxanne showed up or not, then it's kind of like, all Roxanne can really say is like, hey, I tried to help and you blew it, which causes more dissension. It's not exact. Like, if Raquel would have got the W, it would have solidified Roxanne being her tag team partner eventually and being a member of the Judgment Day. I was confused by the choice that they made there, but hey, kudos to Rhea Bloody Ripley. She picked up the victory. She got the roar of the crowd. More on that later. And we're moving on. Then we had Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett. Thank you, Jesus. Karrion Kross went back to his original NXT theme music. The end is near. And I'm confused because at this point, I don't know if they're doing this because they're going to push him, so now they're trying to make his presentation look better and look cooler, or they're about to release him soon. They're just like, fuck it, let's let him use his old... If he wants the old song, just let him have his old song, you know, because he ain't sticking around too much longer. Anyway, I'm confused by that, but, you know, I like it. Like, it's still cool, it's still badass, and I enjoy Karrion Kross. You know, so he came out, Sami Zayn came out, got cheers from the crowd. You know, and this was a good match for Karrion Kross. Like, you know, Karrion Kross beat his ass. Like, he put the respect on his name. And again, this is another situation where I felt like Karrion Kross, if we're going to take Karrion Kross seriously going forward, I feel like he should have got the win, because it's like, it doesn't hurt Sami Zayn. If Sami would have lost, he still would have been okay. But if we're actually, this is why I don't know if we're keeping Karrion Kross or if we're going to let his contract expire, because if you're going to keep him, he should have won. You know, and then in the end, like, it was a move where Karrion Kross was like running him into the corner, clotheslines into the corner, and then when he tried to run to one corner to go to the other, Sami followed him, hit him with the haluva kick, and he picked up the 1-2-3 victory. So, like I said, I don't know. I thought Kross should have got that dub, but, you know, and then it's also, I feel like Karrion Kross barely wrestles as it is, and every time Karrion Kross wrestles, it's at like Saudi Arabia. So he's like, you know, Sami Zayn, he's obviously become the new Mansoor, but, well, like I said, we'll see where the Karrion Kross situation goes and who his opponent's going to be next, and whether or not he sticks around, you know, in WWE going forward. But congrats to Sami Zayn for picking up the win. Then we had, which in my opinion was the shock of the night, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sakoa. Yarmin. And Solo actually got offense. Like, Solo got appropriate, convincing offense that made him come across as a legitimate threat, you know, to Jacob Fatu. And it was very surprising that they let him have that. Of course, there was interference. We ended up getting Jaycee Mateo, who interfered in the match. We got a returning Tonga Loa, who came back. Now we're just waiting for Tama Tonga. So Tama Loga came back. And then now there's another one, because I don't know the dude's name. He like 7 feet tall. They said his name. I forgot his name. But some big-ass Samoan dude. He related to like 5 of them. He came... And he basically, like, Jacob got jumped by like 5 people. So he got jumped by like 3 or 4 people. And the referee, like, the only thing about that I thought was bullshit was, like, when the 7-foot dude showed up and he beat up Jacob and he chokeslammed him on the table, I was like, why is the referee not even seeing this? I'm like, bro, I understand you're being distracted by the other 2 people, but it don't take you that damn long to have that conversation. But, you know, but basically they jumped Jacob Fatu, beat his ass. They put him back in the ring. Solo Sakoa hit the Samoan spike, and I was like, oh shit, Solo Sakoa actually won the belt. Like, Solo Sakoa is the new United States champion, the first champion to defend the championship at Night of Champions is Solo Sikoa. There's like 3, they shoved 3 pay-per-views into this match. So he picked up the victory. So I like that because they were kind of presenting Jacob Fatu as an unstoppable monster, and that's not realistic. Like somebody got to beat him eventually, but and I also like the fact it gives him an out because it took like 3-4 people to actually beat him, which was good too. But yeah, your new United States champion is Solo Sikoa, and congrats to him because now that just means every single member of the Bloodline storyline ended up getting a singles championship except Jimmy Uso. So can my man Big Jim get some gold around his way? Shit. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe now that Solo Sikoa is the United States champion, maybe Big Jim will take the belt from him eventually. But it is interesting to see where Jacob Fatu goes from here because it looks like he's on a warpath to beat up the entire Solo Sikoa family, and he might bring Jimmy Uso with him. Okay, so here we go. Let's get this one out the way. The finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, Asuka versus Jade Cargill. First of all, I hate the fact that Asuka has her original theme back. I liked the second theme better. The one where the woman is singing and she's like, you can't hide, it's too late. Like, I like that one better. Like, I think it fits Asuka's current personality better. It fits her whole aura. I like that song better, and I hate the fact that they went back to the original. Asuka came out, she got cheered by the crowd, just like Rhea Ripley. During the match, Asuka got cheered by the crowd. When Jade Cargill came out, she didn't even get booed at first. They just didn't react at all. And I'm sorry, I've seen other people on social media say this, and I don't think I've actually spoke on this at any point, but I'm at the point now where I gotta call it like I see it. Like, honestly, in Saudi Arabia, they racist as hell against black people. Because every time, and like, there's a lot of people that they're gonna say, oh, that, you know, that country, they're prejudiced against women in general. And you can't say that because they cheered for Rhea Ripley and they cheered for Asuka. They cheer for Liv Morgan when she's there. But every time it's like Bianca, it's Jade, it's Naomi, it's Beef. Even the Street Profits were there in the audience, and I'm like, they was just like, whatever, nobody said anything. But then when Los Garza was there, they kind of cheered for Los Garza, and I'm like, hey, y'all really got a problem with black people. But, you know, and maybe not even to go as far as to say black people, but, and this has come out of the mouths of the people who live there. The people who are from that country, they've openly admitted that there's a colorism issue in their own country where darker skinned people aren't favored over lighter skinned people. I mean, I live in America, surprise, surprise. So I can understand them not, like, from a color, it's like, because, I mean, to say racism because they're, like, you know, black, African-American, African descent, or, you know, Caribbean descent, or whatever the case may be, it's probably not even a situation of them being, like, black, but more so because they're, like, dark-skinned people. And that's kind of, like, frowned upon in certain circles in those types of countries. But anyway, and it was very disrespectful because, like, we're here to see the show. We're here for the competition of the show. We're not here to judge people. You know what I'm saying? It's like me, like I'm always on the band, like I'm always going off on like how much the blondes get on my nerves, but it's not because I hate white girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm cool with the redheads, I'm cool with the brunettes, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool with the jet dark haired white, like I like wrestling. The problem that I have with the blondes is that all the blondes that they have look exactly the same, and they look like they all came off an assembly line. They all look the same, they all talk the same, they all act the same. My whole thing is, can we not have blondes that don't do something different? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even the new chick, Blake Monroe, she's basically a reincarnated version of Scarlett or of Maurice, you know. But anyway, as I said, it was very disappointing. And, you know, Asuka, like, and then there are people that are just like, oh, you know, Jade's not good in the ring, or like Jade's not ready. The thing about it is Jade's had almost 3 years of wrestling experience. She's had extensive WWE training. The only way for her to actually get as good as everybody wants her to be, she got to go out there. Like, you can't baby her forever. You can't hide her forever. You can't put her in like little tiny situations and like 4-minute matches. At some point, she got to go out there and she got to do the shit, which means she has to make these decisions on the fly. She has to change these things on the fly. She has to learn by being in the fire. And Asuka's the perfect person to help get her to where she needs to go. The only thing about the match that I didn't like, because the way the match ended was Asuka basically dominated the majority of the match. Like, Jade got some offense in, but it was like 90% Asuka, like 10% Jade. Towards the end, Jade was like on her knees, and then Asuka went against the rope to do that running hip attack that she does. And then when she tried to do the hip attack, Jade caught her and then transitioned it into the Jaded. And then she rolled her over, and she got the 1-2-3 victory. So Jade is your queen of the ring. Fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm actually happy about that because between Jade Cargill and Asuka, Jade actually has a storyline. The problem that I have is because Jade took like 90% of the ass kicking, for her to just beat Asuka in one move was the thing I didn't like. Because I felt like there should have been a moment where, even if Asuka dominated the majority of the match, there should have been a moment where there was like a back and forth between them so you can justify Jade wearing Asuka down. So then when she does hit the Jaded, you can believe it. To me, when she hit the Jaded, I was like, well, Asuka should kick out of this. She barely took any damage the entire match. But c'est la vie. The right result. That was the right result. Jade Cargill is the queen of the ring. We got Bianca Belair winning Elimination Chamber. We got Naomi winning Money in the Bank. And we got Jade being the queen of the ring. Up your Saudi Arabia for you hating on black women, black people in general. But like I said, but that was the right call. Like, and I'm happy WWE made that call. I'm happy WWE, because let's be honest, I'm pretty sure Triple H is well aware of the fact that colored folk aren't favored very much when they go overseas, and he put the crown on her anyway. So good, happy to see that. And my prediction is, Jade's gonna go to SummerSlam to fight Tiffany Stratton. We're gonna finally get the belt off of Tiffany, thank God. Naomi's gonna cash in on her at some point. And then Naomi's going to end up fighting Bianca. Bianca's going to beat Naomi. And then we're going to get Jade versus Bianca at WrestleMania. So that's my prediction. Can't wait to see that. And I look forward to the next one. But kudos to Jade Cargill, your new queen of the ring. And finally, like Mussolini and Kennedy, for the WWE, the second championship match of Night of Champions, CM Punk versus John Cena. And you can tell it was, they said it, they were like, it's 110 degrees, it's 104 degrees. You could tell it was hot because Cena and, Punk was like, they was sweating. Like, they was sweating to the oldies out there. Like, they looked like 40 miles of bad road. Like, they was going through military training. So, it was hot up in that bitch. But then, it was a good match between both of them. Like, you could tell, like, Cena actually cared. And Cena put some effort into it. But, of course, during the match, here comes Seth Rollins. Ain't nobody asked for no Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins shows up with he came with the whole crew. He showed up with the whole crew. He got involved in the match. I don't know why the referee ain't disqualified nobody, but then there was a moment where not only were they fucking with Punk, but then Cena got into Rollins' face because just because they're both heels doesn't mean, they're going to be buddy-buddy. Cena was just like, yo, this is my match, like, stay out of my match. And then the two of them got into it, and then the goons beat up on John Cena. So now you got both John Cena getting his ass whipped by Rollins and the crew, you got Punk getting his ass whipped by Rollins and the crew, and then Cena and Punk were forced to come together to help stop Rollins and the crew. So that led to a moment where the two of them were just like, hey, we teamed up together to take these guys out. Punk kind of did the whole, I think the old John Cena is back or whatever, and he extended the hand of friendship to John Cena. John Cena actually shook his hand and hugged him. And the crowd started chanting because they thought this was the moment where Punk, where Cena turns babyface again. Because we're halfway through the year, so he got 6 more months then before he turns. But then, he made the face it's over face, and then he basically tried to kick Punk in the nuts. Punk caught him. Punk caught his foot. He was about to hit him with the GTS, and then before he hit him with the GTS, Rollins hit Punk with the briefcase, gave him the stomp. John Cena got the cheap victory, and he pinned CM Punk, and John Cena retained the belt against CM Punk, and he dipped. So now John Cena got beef with Rollins now. Rollins got beef with Punk. Punk got beef with Cena. Punk got beef with Rollins. But honestly, we need to get back to Rollins versus Punk anyway, because the last time Punk and Rollins were in the ring together, Punk got attacked by his crew, and Punk got hit with a tsunami from Big Bronson Reed. He had to take time off. They were just like, oh, he has bruised ribs or a bruised sternum, so he wasn't around after that because, because he took all that damage. And my whole thing was we never came back to that. Once Punk was healed from the damage that he took from Big Bronson Reed, he just forgot about that and just started fighting Cena. And I'm like, what happened to the Bronson thing? So I'm glad we came back to that. And we're probably going to get Rollins versus Punk at SummerSlam. Or maybe, Rollins, Punk, and Roman Reigns again. I don't know. Roman's got to be in the mix somewhere because it is SummerSlam. But that was how the pay-per-view ended with John Cena reigning supreme. And for the love of God, thank you for tuning in. So 3 pay-per-views. We got Crown Jewel, we got Night of Champions, we got King and Queen of the Ring. Kudos to everybody that won. Share your questions, comments, and concerns, and let's keep talking about it. What did you think about this particular pay-per-view? I mean, I'll give it like a 6.5, like a 6.5. Like, it had good matches. It definitely had, if anything, I'll give it a solid 7 just for the fact that Jacob Fatu, lost the U.S. Championship, and for the fact that they put the belt on Jade Cargill. But, they put the crown on Jade Cargill. But let me know what you thought about it, and like I said, we'll keep talking about it. Check out my other videos, my other reviews, because I do have my reviews for the first 3 episodes of Ironheart up on my channel. I know we got Superman coming soon, and in July, I'm doing my coverage for New York Swim Week as well, so keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for other things here on Red Eyes Entertainment. So that was it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. So till the next time, which is Saturday night's main event, and then we'll do Women's Evolution 2 when we talk about more of the wrestling. Put the crown on them. Until then, we're out this